Welcome everyone. It's Mercury Retrograde. There's so many things happening. And we are facing the negative. We're facing the negative. We're being pulled towards the negative. We're being immersed in the negative, submerged in the negative, in the midst of the negative, in order to create, that positive tetrahedron that we've been in the creation of. We're going to apply it to the negative and expand. This is connected to what is happening right now. We've connected to the energies of Aquarius. We're working with the healing right now. We're in alchemy of the healing. We're in alchemy of what we're building, with what we're building, the patterning of what we're building, and it's connected to the King of Swords. You know what's funny, guys? As I'm expanding along with you guys, and when I get really deep in these expansions, I mean, we can feel really ill. We're cleansing a lot of toxicity. I was like, why is the King of Swords here? Gemini. Mercury retrograde in Gemini. Our connection to Mercury. We're working with communication. Whatever we're doing right now, this is going to amp up the connections of communication through a lot of miscommunication, through a lot of the negative, but we're going to face the negative. This is about facing the negative of everything that, working with the planet of Mercury has to offer. Technology, communication, the air. This is what they're telling me. The air. This has to do with the air. And we're going to find out why, of course. Because we're going to let go. And isn't that interesting that the imagery here, this is connected to the autumn equinox. This was kicked off within the autumn equinox. Remember, we're using the cosmic cross of transformation, which is connected to the cycles. It is connected to the seasons. And what this has to do with is we're grounding compassion by, of course, having illumination from our suffering. This is the healing through the energy of the opposites. And we found the center here. I want you to see we found the center, and look, the seed. There's a connection to our center and the seed. And when I was within my vision where I connected to the tree of life and had all that healing, when I was connected to the tree of life and I could feel all this massive healing, which was like nothing I'd ever felt before, like ever in my life, was spectacular. Other than love, it's in the same place as like when you love, like love, and when you're outside and you're having the best time of your life. But it was times 1,000, times 1,000,000. It was unexplainable. They showed me the seed. They showed me that the tree of life is connected to the seed. And of course, how else would the tree of life not be connected to the seed? It's all making sense, right? So we're grounding this. And this has to connected to the patterns of the Fibonacci sequence and spiral, and what's of natural expansion. We know where we honor the center, the inner child, the children, the feminine, the masculine. Whoosh. Okay? And what it has to do with, well, come on over here, is our Kundalini. We're working with untapped energy. And a lot of this has been making us sick. That's why we have to let go. It's a time for release in order to understand how to create with our light bodies. Well, that was a strange noise. Confirmation right there from the universe. And this has to do with the new patterning. Right here. Here's the pilgrim. We have had enlightenment here. We're creating a new, and the fox is with us. We are now we're cunning, and we're using that to our advantage. We're also, it's like a high vibe charm with this world. It's not a charm that manipulates. It's like a high vibe charm of interaction that allows us to transmute more of these lower vibrations, like laughing in a healthy way, not laughing at somebody in a lower vibe way, but laughing off the negative to transmute it. Laughing through it, laughing with it, laughing, Because what's happened is we're having a resurrection. We fixed the temperature gauge. Okay, we've fixed the temperature gauge. Remembering, we're restoring the connections through center. So I received a vision, and I'm going to share it with you, but I'm going to explain it, and then we'll share the actual. I of course had it right after a shower, purification, but they showed me a thermometer, and that the thermometer had snapped in half. One side, of course, being hot, representation of the masculine, and one side being cold, representation of the feminine. And that we've been doing all this work to restore and repair the center, the connection, and repair the thermometer, the gauge, through the center of self. And it's connected to the universe. It's connected to the earth. It's connected to the center of the earth. It's connected to this expansion. Okay, so it's literally like gauging ourselves, like temperature. But we're like that thermometer, and we're broke. We've snapped in half. We've separated ourselves, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to understand that we're going to repair the connection in the center, through the center of that thermometer. And when we repair that center, we're restoring the gauge, okay? So we can gauge our energy. It's broken right now. And how we do that is by understanding that 9 of Wands, what we need right now. That's where we let go of 9 Wands and we just have 1. We are protecting the flame by honoring the feminine, by being in action at the moment, to see the negative, to face the negative, not run from it, and be the positive charge through our energy. And then we're going to go somewhere. We're on mission work, but back on track. So how we do that is we repair that connection between the 9 of Wands and the 10 of Wands. We repair connection. Now we can see how we got from the 10 to the 9. But what we need to remember is that the 9 is still connected to the 10. We need to hang tight with that center and understand they're connected. And it's okay not to fear that connection anymore, not to fear that we're going to slip back. And if we do, we've repaired the connection, and we continue to repair and continue to heal. And we can use that our energy. We fixed the gauge. We fixed it through the center. So now we understand. And when we go a little bit too far this way towards the 10 of Wands, or we find ourselves in the 10 of Wands, we can go backwards towards the 9 of Wands and beyond. And I mean, we can apply this anywhere within our lives. Okay, guys? All right, guys. So the feminine's taking a massive hit right now, a massive blow. A hit to the negative, right? Negative on top of negative does not equal positive. We know this. And so if the feminine energy within you feels distorted, feels like it's being manipulated, feels like it's being pushed towards lower frequencies and vibrations, we're going to add the positive charge. We're going to be the positive charge. We need that masculine. We're going to untwist it. And that means we need to honor that feminine and what that feminine is saying within us. And it also means, too, we're not getting lost in the fact that we're being attacked. This is where our power is still being taken from us. We get angry, we get back in that 5 of Wands charge, that 3 of Swords, that 5 of Swords, confusion, and this is how they continue to steal our energy and manipulate us. We don't look at it like that. We have to put the love there. Remember, our job is to put the love there. We are love, we are light. We're going to shine our light, and our light is connected to our love. So now we're going to apply the love. And we're going to thank them. And we're not going to thank them like, thank you in a way that's taking away our power. We're going to thank them. We're going to thank them for showing us what we still need to repair. Thank you for showing us what we still need to repair. Thank you. And we're going to thank them from a nitty-gritty kind of way. We're going to thank them like we're part of the dirt. The very dirt that they came from. And what we're doing is we've repaired through the center the gauge of the all, and we are stopping to separate ourselves, and we're realizing they are part of the all. We have to realize that the lower vibrations, the lower vibrational entities are part of the all, guys. We gotta stop separating ourselves from them and fearing them. No, we fix the gauge through the center. We restore We restore connection, baby. And we look at it for what it is. We honor it. There's no fear there. We put the love there. We put the light there. And now it's go time. And remember, fear's in the mind. We're applying the positive charge. We are in charge here. We may honor we're not in control, but we're in charge. And we're in charge of our energy first and foremost. And we don't have to be afraid of that. We honor that with healthy pride from the crown, with a humble charge, as we're creating with integrity of light and love, by honoring it all. The good, the bad, the dark, the light, the ugly, the yin, the yang, the everything. And what it's allowing us to do is to work with y'all. It's allowing us to work with creation. It's allowing us to expand with creation and not go mad there. And not go mad with what we're doing and evolve the species. Now we're going to see that the very things that we've been trying to separate ourselves from are a part of it all. But they're on different ends of the spectrum, and that we're creating higher vibes, higher vibe times. What does that mean? And we're also transmuting what's in between in order to purify and allow that to use the toxicity as fuel to elevate to where we're going. It's much like a car, like the Back to the Future car that's going to burn off garbage. We're going to burn off the garbage. We're going to, our mission work for the collective, and we're going to use it as fuel to get to where we're going. It is also it's like having a death of acceptance of this place. Also facing the reality of what it is, which we've been doing through the center of innocence, to restore that innocence. Confirmation right there from those sirens. And to expand. This is a place that is so sacred, you guys, and the feeling of it feels like the womb. It feels like the womb. I can feel the warmth of the womb. I can feel the protection of the womb, but I can also feel what is threatening the womb. But I'm not worried about it. Something has changed. It's like we're flipping the script. It's like where the divine, of course, has a plan and uses the energy of the opposites in order to create the healing. And this is where we allow the power that's bigger than us to help us to expand. And it's connected to what we're doing here. We're working in the garden. And we're working in the garden, and we know we're expanding there with those 13 spheres of knowledge. And we're finding pleasure from our pain. We're finding connection again. We're finding the will to go on. We're finding the will to expand. We're finding the will here to put down our burdens and to go forth. And to honor what is cyclical. To honor the cycles, to honor the seasons, to heal with time, to heal with how things work here. Vibrations, authenticity, truth, patterns, numbers, frequencies. This is surrendering to how the world was built and then expanding off of it through healthy fantasy illusions and visions. And it's connected to the feminine, our abundance, our rebirth, and that's connected to the restoration of balance right now, the truth. And it is the sword. It's what's being accessed right now. This is being accessed. And we're going to find out right now how. And it's being accessed through the masculine, but through the energy of youth. The page, something's being honored here. And we're going to turn the wheel. We will expand with the cosmic cross of transformation. We will restore balance by honoring the feminine, La Lunas, the shape-shifting, healing with time. And this has to do with healing with self and understanding we're eternal. But we are still choosing high vibe patterns for our body, because we have to take care of our body, because our body is part of the earth. It's part of the mother. And we're filling up our own cups now. And we're deciding what we put in these cups. This is connected to our patterning as well as high vibe choices. Actually legit for our bodies. Okay. This is allowing us manifestation with the Father. We're understanding the Father. We are understanding the Father. We're doing all this work right now to understand fire. How to work with fire. And we're connecting to this. And this is what is going to happen in the garden. And we're going to heal in this garden. We're going to heal from our 5 of Wands charge, and it's going to allow us to continue forth with our journey in love and expanding from the heavens to the earth through us with the patterns of the golden ages, the starlight, this is also connected to the activation. It is what is happening here in the garden. It is what is like literally happening here and here. So I want to get it straight as to how. Let's see if I can hold all 5 of these. If I can do it. It's like this, okay? This is our activation. All right, let's see what's being activated. But before we do, we're going to break this message down even further, and then we're going to expand off of it. But remember, we have the keys. This is the keys right now. This is the access to the 13 spheres of knowledge, applying the masculine to those 13 spheres. We found the center and expanding it. And right now it is connected to the Emperor and Tower moments that we're having with the divine, but it's in order to ground the patterns of healing and new earth, what we're building, and have our metamorphosis from the old to the new. And it is connected to the Queen of Wands. All right, guys, let's break it down.